everybody, and welcome to another Smoke and Mirrors. This episode is brought to you by the weather. Make sure to put your head outside before you step outside. It is a little racisty out. It's a little racisty out. Heard that from a girl, Dahlia Bell, last night at the Hijinks Comedy Competition. What else? I'm supposed to do things at the beginning. Oh, right, a song. I'm supposed to give you a song. Okay. And now, here's the song. You're giving me the sweetest taboo. Okay, that's all I got today. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, and now here there, your inveterable host, Carlos Karim Wyndham. Yay! Hey, y'all. Oh boy, it's Thursday. We're late. I told you we were going to be that. I know all the rules. I know all the rules. I know what we do. You know I know what we do, and I'm not doing it, right? Normally I smoke before I talk, and then I say the things. I fucked up. What are you going to do? All right, let's get to it. And that glockenspiel means we're here. Hi, welcome to Smoke and Mirrors. We do have a special show today. You know, Thursday is normally our segment show. That's the day where Joshua and I get together, spend a little bit of time, and talk about the news things. Put that right there in the box, and you look at all the great graphics that we spend the entire day putting together. Didn't do it today. That's the only graphic that's going to be there all day. Several things happening, and we will get into them right after this. You are watching Smoke and Mirrors, and if you enjoy what we do, we would enjoy it if you would help us to spread the word. There's so many ways you could do that. You could go ahead and leave a like. You could leave a subscribe. Leave a subscribe. What am I talking about? We'll go ahead and edit it out. Don't worry about it. Like or subscribe, Facebook, YouTube. That would be awesome. You could also share it. That'd be great. Hey, you want to throw 5 on it? 3 ways. Venmo at Carlos-Wyndham, Cash App, $CK Wyndham, PayPal /me.CK Wyndham. I'll say it again since I stuttered. PayPal /me.CK Wyndham. If you absolutely love what we do here, please become a patron of Smoke and Mirrors. Patreon at Smoke and Mirrors CCB. That is for comedy. That is for culture. That is for blackness. Comedy, culture, and blackness. Patreon at Smoke and Mirrors CCB. Please feel free to join us, as have all of those very many names that you see scrolling right there on your screen. It's gotten to be too many to say all at once, and that's a good thing. We appreciate that. Let's keep that going. Tell a friend about it. Hey, everybody. Okay, do you have a warm bevy? If you don't, get one, because we're going to have a discussion, I do believe. I have said this to you before, and I want you to know it to be true. There is never, when we are in discussion with our friends here under the Philosopher's Tree, there's never, ever, ever a script. I don't have any questions. I probably should even do a bit more research than I do. But it's always it's always a good conversation. What y'all can't see is that my guest under the tree can see me right now and is watching this nonsense. That does mean that there's flow, and that does mean that there's energy, and that does mean that there's the ability to be flexible and move things around. Our guest underneath the philosopher tree today is somebody who I've been trying to bring on for a couple weeks. We have busy lives, and one of us may have been in Facebook jail for a week. So things get postponed, and then we go ahead and make it happen on a Thursday instead of a Tuesday, because if we don't, then it means we're going to have to be waiting until very late into June, and I didn't want to wait for that. I don't think you want to wait for that. So what else? I don't know. We were chatting before. I want to get into some of that chats. This person is a host on a podcast that I like quite a bit. Member of the Baddie Brigade. The podcast is Marsha's Plate. If you have not checked it out, please do check it out. I know I have very many times spoken of and referenced Tea with Queen and Jay. You have met my friends Janicia and Naima. Now you're gonna meet somebody who I hope will become a new friend, unless I fuck this all up. This is the co-host again of Marsha's Plate. Please welcome beneath the philosopher's tree, Zahir Raye. Zahir, please come on. You are more than welcome here. How are you feeling?
All right. Am I in?
You here? You here? Yawn.
All right.
Yeah, as far
So,
as yeah.
I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I was curious as to why you got in Facebook jail. I wanted to ask, but I didn't know if that
yeah,
was
I could talk
nosy.
about it. No. I could talk about it. It happens the same time mostly. There's a couple things that happen. One, and Queen and Jay both talked about this because it started happening to them as well. There was a hashtag that I love. Men are trash. Speaking of the patriarchy, and I may have had it spread all throughout my feed. And at the time that they decided that was hate speech, that started
All
getting me.
right.
And last time I learned that you cannot. The irony is dead because I took somebody
Right?
else's post
A
about
whole man
yeah, somebody
made
had
that post.
it was crazy. Somebody had a whole different ass post about what the fuck was it about? It's about some bullshit about COVID. It wasn't true. Like, oh, they made it up. The government coming to get you. They're gonna put nickels in your veins or some shit. And I was like, now see, this is why you got blocked, right? I got blocked for saying that.
Wow.
I got blocked for saying you said this stupid shit, and now I'm blocking you. And so,
All right. Well, that's
yeah.
Facebook for you.
Yeah, they had me under
Well,
surveillance for a while. How you doing?
I'm good though. I'm chilling. I actually got, because I couldn't smoke right now.
Okay.
So I actually got some oil in there from the homie. You know what I'm saying?
Yum.
And I got on my raw papers hat. Thought that would only be right for the occasion.
Most
You know what I'm
excellent.
saying?
Most
How you
excellent.
been?
Making it, trying to. I was hit. I know you were hit. We were just talking about it, right? Another elder.
Yeah,
Yeah. Paul
Paul
Mooney.
Mooney, bro.
It's a
That
trip.
was my homie. Like for real, I didn't even
It's a
know him,
trip.
but it felt like one of them funny ass uncles you got that just say whatever the fuck is on their mind. Like the uncle you always wanted, damn
Yeah.
near. Like like because if your families, they can't find a sense of humor and the struggle, well, it depends. Like it's two different people, I think, that might take the struggle and find some laughter in it, to make
Mm.
it not so serious and overbearing. And then you got some that choose to take in the negativity and they become it and they
Mm.
take it out on other people.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
he was one of them people that found humor in the nastiness, in the racisty weather, as you called it.
Yeah.
So so you know what I'm saying? That was OG.
Yeah,
OG.
he's very complicated too. He's very you know about I don't know. Do you know about his legacy with Rich and Rich Jr. and all that?
Yeah, from
The
my
abuse.
understanding, he helped write some stuff in some of his work, in some of his stand up work.
Some
Richard
of
Pryor's stand up work.
uh,
So
it turns out it wasn't the stand up work. They did write some stuff together. They worked on the Richard Pryor show.
oh,
They worked on a
right.
couple other shows together. They wrote JoJo Dancer. They
Mhm.
did, yeah. They definitely did some stuff together. They also had a very tumultuous. I mean, life is complicated. It's one of those like, oh, I don't want to meet my heroes because everything gets bad. He may
Oh,
have abused Rich Jr. Did abuse Rich Jr. And it's one of those things where like trying to square those legacies.
wait, where did that come out?
Oh, that came out like 2 years ago. Official. It was Rich's.
For real?
Yeah, Rich's bodyguard was talking about it.
Oh, like,
Yeah,
well,
it's part of kind of what led to like Rich lighting himself up that night, and it's a very complicated
what?
like. Yeah. It got very
So,
complicated.
so did the son come out with it?
Yeah, he's talked about it.
I
He's
didn't know
talked about
that.
it. Yeah,
I didn't know that. Well,
yeah,
I
he's
guess I
talked
was
about
so
it.
focused on the talent. I don't know. I guess I wasn't really paying attention to the ins and outs of people because I don't know. Sometimes that ruins stuff for me. Like his,
Listen, I'm sorry. I know. I just shit it
like
all in the. I just shit it all in the fucking punch. I'm so
like
sorry.
going into depths into people's shortcomings be fucking shit up. But it,
I mean,
damn.
and we all fuck
But
up, but we don't all fuck up quite to the same degree. But like, yeah, no, it's that
yeah,
that's a heartbreaking one.
that's
That's a
definitely
heartbreaking one.
not the same degree.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it hurts.
Like I've been heard there was rumors of him being gay, but I didn't know add
Right.
pedophilia on top of that shit. That's crazy.
Yeah,
I ain't
yeah.
gonna let it blow my high though. Fuck it.
Hey,
It sucks.
it does, it does, it does. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's part of I think it's part. I hope I find is part of what I find assurance in learning from my honestly at this point youngers. I just gotta
Mhm.
say it right as my beard gets steadily gentrified. Like I can't pretend any longer that I'm 30. That's out. And the
Hey.
spaciousness that y'all have around the creation of a whole life, right? One that doesn't necessitate feeling like you can't be your entire self, shouldn't be your entire self, won't be out, end up being closeted, and then honestly, I think it's colonial repression that leads to, and I'm not trying to let nobody off the hook, nothing like that, right? But that leads to the
Mhm.
cycles and the patterns, right? Where that kind of abuse by the folks who are closest to us happens, right? Because that's most
I see
often
what
where
you're
it
saying.
happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Um,
see what you're saying.
yeah. But I learned from
Yeah.
y'all, man. I learned from y'all for real, for real. Um,
Well, the thing about it is, as a trans person, you want to make it be known that your opinion is your opinion,
mm,
and not every group is not a monolith.
ever.
So we always make that known, like this is our opinion, and like even in the middle of the show on Marsha's Plate, we disagree with each other in the midst of it.
Yeah.
Like with certain things, like we have somebody that's 40 years old, somebody that's 30 years old, and then me, I'm 25, actually this month. And
Happy
so like
birthday. Happy
sometimes
birthday.
I'll
It
tell,
matters.
thank you, thank
Yeah.
you. Today is actually my me and the Queens, who my sister, our other sister's birthday today. But anyways,
Oh, see,
as a trans person, huh?
that's wonderful. That's beautiful. I didn't know that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And
No, I
then
mean
the
we
Queen's
could get
birthday,
yeah. Go ahead. When's the Queen's
and then the
birthday?
Queen's birthday is on the 28th. Okay, but anyways,
Come on now. Come on now.
so these May babies. But as a trans person, I always, oh yeah. So I always tell the older part, like me and the middle person in the age, we always tell the older person, I don't even know I'm saying person, Diamond, the host of it. We always tell her, sometimes she tripping, like she got a mind frame that's like kind of outdated, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes she could tell us about stuff that happened in the past, and then when we tripping now, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
it's like
yeah, yeah,
it's a perfect balance,
yeah,
and I'm the only trans man and they're trans women, so it's like a balance. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, that's healthy.
yeah,
That's healthy. Honestly, like it, the process for me of coming out as NB is non-binary took a great deal of
really.
time, right? And
All
learning and language, right? Um,
right,
we didn't grow up with language for that, right? The language, like weird kid, thespian.
right. If we did, because if we did, it was in another language.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But of course, the English, the white people pushed that away, like whatever. And then once they made up their own definitions, and then queer people kind of just made our own slang from that, just like how black people do, like our
that's it.
own slang. And then like we just made up our own language, and then hey, and now here it is. We got language for it now. But I want people to understand a lot of language been there,
Right.
just in different languages. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
no,
So
absolutely. I mean, that is one of the struggles. Not one of the struggles. I think one of the gifts for me that ends up I witness being one of the struggles for many folks my generation or near it. I'm
hmm
Generation X, so I'm 49. I'm about to be 50 this year, and the
okay.
whole Lollapalooza generation. There was a
What's that generation?
huh? You don't know about Lollapalooza? Oh my god! Oh, I'm so fucking old. Shut up! Fuck you! Get off my screen! What? Ah!
I'm
It's Coachella.
dumbfounded.
It's Coachella. It's Coachella, but before Coachella, and it was touring. And
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
it was the first time that God damn it, I can't believe I'm explaining this like it's a history lesson. It hurts my heart so much. It's the first time
Hey.
that that urban black music's what they could when they used to call black music urban music, right? And
hmm
white rock music, and at the time it was like Nirvana, Nine Inch Nails, Jane's Addiction, and the founder of Jane's Addiction was the one who put it together. And they brought out like Ice. Ugh, God, you're gonna hate this. Ice T, Tribe Called Quest, Fishbone,
That's dope.
right? And the shit was super dope. I went to the first two.
Hell yeah, that's actually sound like one of the best. Like especially at that time, what was it in the '90s?
Yes, it was very much in the '90s. There were people lifting up weights with their penises, and what else was
Oh,
happening? Oh yeah, no, this was the first time there was piercings. First time it was tattoos public. It was a thing. It was a thing. Anyway, that said, uh,
man, man, that sounds like the best time to witness in hip hop, and then to grow up to see how it evolved. That would be dope. Now I feel like I really feel even more choosy with my taste. Cause like in shit in the '90s and stuff, it's easy for me to gravitate towards a lot of that music.
yeah,
Like it's hard to find a bad song in the '90s for me. But now I'd be
I
like,
promise
it's
you
so
they're
much
there.
to
I
choose
promise
from.
you they're there. But.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Bo's online. He's saying, did Fishbone play Lollapalooza back then? Yes, they absolutely did. And the Queen got a shout out to your moms for having an entire birthing season. So,
Right?
congratulations
What
to your moms.
month was that? Shit, I don't know. I don't know what month that was, but she was busy.
Yeah, yeah. Tracy's not my
It's-
fat.
But whatever, her eggs must be at its peak
That's
of
a
whatever year that, whatever month that is.
rerun season. That was rerun season when there was real
Right.
TV. Uh, yeah, no. So yeah,
Man.
for that generation, right? Like I think that kind of, and part of the reason that I do really truly reference Lollapalooza as a marking point for Generation X, in the same way that I think about Coachella as what it's evolved into, right? It's kind of like that plus Burning Man started fucking and they made this thing, and so here's Coachella, and that's
Was it like always that white though? Like I know Coachella's like hella white. It's from what I heard, but I don't know. I haven't been.
it was weird because prior to then, hip hop wasn't even on the radio. Like it wasn't around. It didn't exist. Like you had to know, you had to listen to hip hop hours. You had to like bootleg tapes from New York or California during certain times of day, and then you would like tape it, and then maybe people would pass you that tape, and that's how you would learn about like what was happening. And then regional hip hop did the same thing. So it started coming out like Oakland and Atlanta the same way, and and I was in Colorado, so I was lucky. I was right in the middle, and got to get all of it at the same time. You know, in college radio,
So,
yes, Bo, yes,
so do you like any of the music now?
yeah,
Do you
hell
still
yeah,
listen to hip hop?
fuck
Yeah.
yeah, Cardi B
Okay.
killing it.
Because I know it's some people that be like, nah, I don't know who none of these rappers are now, and sounds kind of bitter, low key, but
High
it's
key,
just like I don't know none of these bullshit. I'm like, come on now, like don't even cap. You know our music be hitting, like
yeah. No,
stop
y'all
playing
got
it.
slaps, y'all
Like,
got fire, y'all got fire.
like the beats is just it's just different. They just hit
Yeah.
different. Like
I
it's
even
just
like
a different
the way
sound.
y'all ride the I like the chant style, I like the way y'all ride it. Like it's different. It's a different time. It's for a different generation that's experiencing and
Right.
relaying a different experience. And so I don't have any beef with it. Like for us,
Right. It's like you got to look at it like part of what's in the time capsule. Like it's still black creatives
yeah,
creating shit. Like we could have fun. Like I feel like I hate when people get a little uptight
yeah,
about entertainment.
yeah,
But I mean, I understand certain platforms people have, like, and the certain responsibility that comes with it. But like at certain points, when you expect like a rapper to be like politically correct all the time,
yeah.
you gonna be let down every
Deeply,
time. So that's
deeply.
why I think I kind of look at entertainment as entertainment. Like I don't try to delve too much into their lives. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
That
Like I try
does.
to separate it.
That does. That I think that okay, so that I know has got to be a generational rift that comes up for you, like you were talking about before as well, because that was part of the thing about Lollapalooza for us, and of that at the time it was not completely white. It really was a race mixing kind of event, right? So there were kids who were going to the concert specifically just to see hip hop. Like I didn't know those bands. I didn't know them white bands. I was not there for that. I can't sing you my favorite James Addiction song if my life depended on it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I went to see Tribe. I uh,
Have you been to Coachella?
no, no. I've seen it.
That's
I've
what I
seen
was
it.
wondering. What was white? Like,
That
was it
it sounds incredibly white. That sounds like a horror show.
like
Like
I
I mean,
always
how
when
could you
people
go? It
say
costs so much.
like when people say Coachella, I picture like a white girl with blonde hair with like a flower thing around her head, and shit, like
Yeah,
in
I
like a
picture
sundress.
you generous. I picture that. I picture that heifer sitting there with like a like a Indian headband and
Right,
all kinds of
like
henna on her hands and
right, like all up here,
yeah,
and like kind of coming off a little bit, because they
stankin',
like to be in the grass and shit.
smelling
Like,
like patchouli.
That's what I wondered. But I've never been before. When I heard it seems super white.
It
But
it seems frighteningly white. It seems frighteningly white.
yeah.
So yeah, so like
Yeah, I
the
bet
way
you.
that's the thing about the way it's evolved. I mean, it's just like the sound of the music is slapping. Uh, it has become to experience it very exclusionary, right? It costs whatever $200 to go to a concert, whatever. That is not our experience growing up. It was $20 to go to a concert. When the Jacksons made
Wow.
a ticket $28, that was ridiculous. That was ridiculous to
It
see the
was like, oh
Jacksons
my
live.
God.
Folks was losing
But
their
it
minds. They
probably
was
was
like,
worth
"What?"
it.
Oh, it was so good. It was so worth it. It was so
Probably
worth it.
was definitely worth it.
Speaking of problematic abusers, yes, it was so good. It
You're
was so
right.
good.
Yeah, man.
Problematic abusers who groomed me. That's Jesus. Yeah, no, it
Wait,
was
I
good.
shouldn't be laughing at that. But
It's true and it's funny shit. I mean, it happened. I don't. We're
wait,
generation.
wait.
Oh, he groomed a generation. He groomed a generation. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
okay.
Yeah, no, I had
Okay,
Michael
okay.
Jackson posters on my wall. You know, like it. Y'all don't. The level of fame and what fame was then is not. I don't think one can get their head around it all the way. Like this nigga could not walk anywhere without a police force. Like a
I saw
police
that shit.
force.
I envision all his fans' rooms looking like Macaulay Culkin's room in black and white. Like the bad. Did you have the guitar stereos?
No, I had a guitar. Nah, cause Macaulay was that's late Michael. I had Michael pictures from like when he was a kid all the way through, right up until
Shit.
about let's see, post Thriller.
The whole nine.
Yeah, no, I was
Literally.
into cutting them out of magazines, taping them up. It was a
the
mess.
whole 9 identities. Like,
Look, I got a beaded
man,
jacket in my closet right now. I swear to God, it was a mess. It was a mess.
it's crucial.
Yeah.
Did you have a glove?
Yep.
That's when it's official.
Yep, I had the glove.
You had the glove?
The joint. I still got. I listen. I got a Paul Mooney and a Bill Cosby record over on my bookshelf. Okay, I got a Michael Jackson record.
Fuck.
Like I grew up on some shit. So what I'm saying is, y'all generationally, I'm talking about, right? Gender aside, generationally, y'all have an audacity for honesty and fuckitude, and I'm just hearing this that
Hey,
is just. I mean, it's so admirable that when I'm saying I'm continually learning from y'all, it's not that like, hey, the responsibility's on you now, young motherfucker, figure it out. You know, it's not that.
yeah.
It's okay. So in partnership, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna call you in a little bit on like, it'd be great though if we could get these artists kind of more activated and like with a book in their hand, and plus help me not be so
Yeah, that's right.
disgusting and so with my own shit. You know what I mean?
All right. So, like, the letdown was like on a different level, I'm sure, when
Oh
you heard
Lord.
the accusations about him. But those been going on, haven't they? Like, those
Yeah.
accusations been going
Yeah,
on.
it's been going on. We've been trying to pretend it's been okay, and it ain't been okay, and then and now we all know. And I don't talk about that. I don't talk about that. No, but
It's
I mean
all good.
that is part of breaking the cycle, right? That is part of breaking the cycles. I think that set people more free is being honest about what it is, right? Being honest about
Hmm.
who these people are and who we are.
Yeah,
And
it
it's
also is a part of their legacy. If they like with the Kobe Bryant stuff,
yeah.
um, it don't take away from his talent, but when he was accused of was it?
Oh,
I
he
don't
raped that
know.
white girl.
He
He raped that white
violated
girl.
a woman.
He raped a white girl.
Yeah.
That's what he did.
And he actually said he admitted to it could have not been consensual.
Yeah.
He admitted to it. And so people got to understand it was when Gail was asking questions. It's not necessarily about trying to squash his legacy. If
No.
that is a part of his legacy, that's a part of his story.
Yes.
Like it happened. Like people are speaking of the facts. Some people might take it a little far because the internet's in there. You can say whatever the fuck you want.
Uh oh.
See it as like, if you know that's word on the street, you gonna bring it up. Like you gonna try to ask who's closest.
Right.
So I don't know. Yeah, that's what people gotta get. Like sometimes I don't know if a lot of the critical thinking skills are there for a lot of folks, and I really don't think they are, because a lot of people think that I call myself a male, and I never once said I was a male. I said I'm a trans person, like I'm a trans man. That's the difference. And so they'll try to tell me what chromosomes I have. And I know what chromosomes, well, actually, I don't know what chromosomes I have. I actually never got tested for it. I should. But anyways, they tell me what chromosomes I have, and I don't even know what chromosomes I have. I just know my experience. How you know what chromosomes I have? Because there's so many different variations of chromosomes. How do you know what I have? So I don't know. I don't know if people, have the critical thinking skills to break it down, that I have the ability to not see myself some way. You're assuming I see myself some way. I don't know.
Sure they
That's just
don't.
my high self.
Yeah.
That's my high self rambling, but
Nah, you verbalizing it right. I mean, I think straight up. I mean, I think that is a big part of the issue, right? Is that it's
Yeah.
that thing of like having your self identity, your self experience. I wouldn't even call it an identity, right? Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I was talking about this with a friend the other day. Like, I'm aware of some lady said to me, you have a very effeminate voice, and I said, you don't seem to know what words mean, because I have a very deep voice, and I have a very effeminate manner of speech.
Feminine voice.
Those are two different things, and also we don't say such things anymore. But okay, you know, the manner of speech, right, that I use is not
Hmm.
new. Do you know what I mean? I spent a lot of years being
Right.
closeted. Like I spent a lot of years butching myself up, and I know how to do it. It's very easy, especially right. Like even when I'm talking about hip
Yeah,
hop
you know
and
how to
shit.
assimilate.
I grew up in hip hop. I spent 15 years with a group. Like, yeah, I could very easily do that all day. It's not
Hmm.
even a thing. And
Right.
after about an hour, I start getting tired. So, you know, it's got a weight to it
That's an
for me to
honest
carry
way of
that.
putting it.
Yeah, I can't do it. For you, so from when I was a child, my father would look at me and be like, "Yeah, okay, there goes Jack Benny." Again, a reference you won't know. Very old comedian who was very flamboyant with his hands. Uh, so from when I was young, from when I was a baby, you know what I'm saying? From when I was little, I've been this way. It is what it is. I collected little unicorn crystal figurines at 12. I've been this way. What has been your experience helping people understand your experience? The people closest to you, not motherfuckers that don't matter.
I break it down in the most common sense way. Like it's almost like, come on, children, let me teach you. All right. So, like, it's kind of like I feel like I have to be that way because if I don't come in a gentle way, I'm just asking a question. Like, if it's a question that offends me deeply, I also take in consideration that it might be a genuine question. Like, they
Mm,
really don't know,
mm.
and so I try to be you know the difference between somebody is trying it and somebody is not. Like it depends on the tone.
There's a
So
tone. There's a
because
tone,
it's
motherfucker. There's
not
a tone.
yeah. Sometimes it's not what you ask, it's how you ask.
Yeah.
So I'll break it down like yeah. So like say if they ask me, um, say if they ask me my sexuality, I'll be like, yeah, I'm bisexual, and then they'll be like, wait. I'm like,
I said, wait. Oh my God.
yeah, yes. What are you gonna ask next? What you gonna ask next?
Right.
Okay, well, they might say something deeply offensive, and I'll just be like, oh no, because, but sometimes there's a moment where, my bad.
No, it's all good.
Sometimes there's a moment where it's like, um, my bad, I got thrown off. Sometimes there's a moment where it's like, why do I feel the need to always prove that I'm a good person to people?
Mm,
Like, why do I always feel the need to show and exemplify how patient I am?
mm.
And because there comes a moment where it's like, you got to tell people some shit is not their business, like straight up. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to share that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta draw boundaries for yourself because sometimes I know that I was trying to prove that I was a good person because I come from an extremely like southern rural area Christian family, like like in Houston, like you know what I'm saying, the outskirts of Houston. So like I always felt the need to show that I'm a good person so I could still go to heaven. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Like so
mm,
you can still
mm.
respect me. I could be the respectable trans person. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
Right.
I
Right.
could fit all these high expectations and be a good person and do things right and go to school and try to do all this shit I really don't want to do
Yeah.
and show that I'm a good person and and so you can respect me. But it comes a certain point where you mature and no matter what you do, like you could do all that. You could have money, because sometimes you say, I'm gonna make money and shit on these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But in the end of the day, you're gonna find yourself still unhappy because you'll see their opinions of you don't really change. And some
At
might
all.
evolve when they really get to know you. But most people aren't going to want to get to know you because they know of the life you live. Like
Mm-hmm.
because of their own prejudices inside of them. You know what I'm saying? It prohibits them from actually getting to know you.
Mm-hmm.
And so they go with all of their assumptions of what trans people do, what queer people do, what bisexuals do. You know what I'm saying? And then me being AFAB, assigned female at birth, what do females do? Oh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they put all this stuff on you and these expectations. So that's what I learned. I try to be patient with the right people, but it's hard like to know people's intentions, but you just got to get to know folks, and I feel like that's what people got to understand. You can't just ask people real personal questions off the bat. Like you got to build some type of trust
Yeah.
and understanding. You know what I'm saying? So think before you ask is basically, but you don't have to tread lightly with certain people. Like I'm a straight up person, so it also depends on the person. So you got to get to know the person. Like you know what I'm saying?
You can catch a bad one. Fucking around
Right.
asking the wrong shit to the wrong person. You sure
Yeah.
can. You,
And then you might think that you asking, like, say for instance, if it's a man that kind of look like he could you know, like he's a little more soft in his features.
Mm.
He looked like he could possibly be a transgender man. And you ask him and he's actually not, he might want to fight you. He might want to shoot you.
It
He
might be on
might,
now. It might be on now.
like it depends, like or with women, like they like it because not every woman, not every man fits these standards of what it looks like to be a
At
man
all.
or woman or even sound like or behave like. So you know you're gonna fuck around and ask somebody the wrong questions, and you
Listen,
thought it
son,
was
people have
that,
asked me the wrong
and
motherfucker question. They got the wrong answer. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. I had my nails done to a T. This is terrible, but it's true. And I saw this little girl, and she kept looking at me, and she kept looking up, and she kept looking at me, and she kept looking up, and she looked at me. She said, "Your hands look like a girl." And I looked at her, and I looked at her, and I looked at her, and I looked at her mama, and I looked at her, and I said, "Fuck you, little girl," and I walked away.
no.
What I should have said was, what I should have said was, my nails look painted and beautiful, and your
Oh,
mama's an
your nails were
asshole,
painted.
and your mama's an asshole, and your mama's an asshole, and your mama's an asshole.
No.
Oh yes, no,
No.
I don't have
No, I'm
time.
talking
I
about.
can't
I'm
do it.
talking. I'm talking about. I'm talking about. You said, "Fuck you, little girl."
I sure did. I sure did.
That's like
I
off a
turned with an
movie.
attitude
Like
too. I turned with an attitude too. I gave him the head whip.
she probably was scarred from that day.
She's okay. She's
She probably like,
fine.
you know what? People I run across like that, don't fuck with them. I don't care for them
I don't,
anymore.
that's not safe. Don't say some.
Beware of those.
Oh
Those kind.
shit! Yeah, see, that's why I said it's not good. I am trying to be better. It's I have MS. You have to. She has to forgive me. I have a. I'm not. I don't. Because I can't censor myself. It hurts my brain if I try. And so, sorry. I could have, but then I would have had to walk around thinking about it for the whole fucking next 5 hours, and I can't.
Man,
If one of
little
us is gonna
kids
be out of
just they
balance, it ain't
don't they
gonna be
don't
me.
care.
If it's one of us is gonna
Like
be
they
out of
don't
balance, it
care.
gonna be
There
me.
was been so many little girls and boys that asked me, "Are you a boy or a girl?"
For real.
And I'd be like, "I'm whatever I am." And like I'll just say something that throw them off, and they'll be like, "What?" Or just say, or I'll just say straight up, like I'm a boy. Like it depends on how I'm feeling that day. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I mess with them, like, "What does your mom say?" And I'll try to get in there. Like, what did somebody tell you different?
See, right?
Why?
Because if they did,
Why
because
are
if
you
they did,
asking
this is
me
what you
that?
say to your mama. Fuck you, little girl. No, don't say that to your mom. Don't say that to
Like, who's telling you something?
your Shit.
Talk to me. Talk to me. If I know the kid, of course. But
Yeah. That is so wild. That is so wild to me. I mean,
right.
it shouldn't be, right? I have the ridiculous, audacious, they say privilege of. Okay, so this is okay. All right, this is my last question. This is my last. I didn't ask no questions. I don't know why I'm saying last question. Like we've been doing an interview, and talking and bullshit.
You asked one question.
I know.
But
Okay, let's get into it. Now let's get into it.
But for your sake, I was rambling and talking a lot.
Oh, I
So,
love it. I love no. That's what this is. We under the philosopher's tree. So the philosopher's tree, the whole idea of it happened for me. I went to a PWI, and so in the middle of the day, I would have to just take breaks from school, and I would just sit under this one tree and smoke. And the other brown kids and the queer kids would kind of see me there and just join in, and we would just start joining. And then we just started meeting at certain times, and we were just like, well, let's meet at the philosopher's tree. We'll go over there and smoke and whatever. I'll see you after class. Because you couldn't, like, text each other about, like, again, we were technologically unrefined. And so we just, I'll meet you there at 4, whatever, at 1, whatever. Well, I'll see you there. And you just sit there and wait and watch people walk up to you in the distance. It was like a movie. It was great. It was great. So this is an extension of that. We just, It's people who I find
Mm-hmm.
interesting, people who I find have genius, people who got a thing to say, and we just jaw. Whatever come out, come out. It's always good. It's always good.
All right, right.
Okay, here's my question I want to ask. Oh, we just went
My
dark.
bad.
Oh, we up. Okay, that's all right. Uh,
Yes, sir. I mean, sorry. Do you go by what are your pronouns?
I thank you. I am they them. I am they them,
They them.
and it does have to do
Okay.
with that. In fact, uh, because
Mm-hmm.
I, right, as I am given a certain amount of license, right, in society,
Mm-hmm.
depending on if I'm willing to kind of like walk more straight, talk more straight, whatever, I could get through certain doors easier. Unfortunately,
All
it
right.
also means that cishetes have gotten, on occasion, not any longer, comfortable with me being in the, and then would say the things. And if for me,
Oh gosh.
that has had a very devastating impact to the point that
Right.
now the only, not only, most of the male presenting folk with whom I can have what feels like a safe relationship for me right now are queer folk, trans folk, artists. I'm kind of cool past that. I'm kind of cool past that. It gets weird for me. And when I got caught up in the men are trash hashtag, to bring it back to that, that really fucking, that twisted my noodle. I was like,
Mm.
okay, you know what? And it kind of baked in a gross way that I'm trying to chip away at. I've been very good recently at embracing my own divine femininity. I'm having a harder time finding my divine masculinity, and I'm hoping, as somebody who seems to have embraced theirs, that maybe you could speak to how you've done that, because I don't know how, and I'd like to.
Oh.
Was
Oh
that a big
wow.
one? Was that a big one?
It was one of those. It was one of them ones. Let's see. Um, how did I embrace it? Okay,
Yeah,
so
and again for you, and I
to
and
to
I want to
get
say that for my experience and yours, again, as you said at the beginning, none of our experiences are a monolith. This is you and me talking under the
right,
tree. Anyone
right,
watching,
right,
you
right.
observing, you just observing. This is us
Of
talking. I'm trying.
course.
I'm asking a question. I'm trying to learn. Okay.
Okay, so of course the cliche answer is me just being myself. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
Like me just being how I am. But at the same time, the reason why I'm starting to I guess my thing is I'm finding my divine femininity. So,
Mm.
which is interesting. I'm trying to find what that looks like. And nowadays, because the masculinity just comes so natural for me. It's always been like that, but at the same time, I've had a lot of femininity in me, like a lot of feminine ways. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like if say if I like depending on the person I'm talking to, it comes out in
Yes.
certain ways.
Yes.
And and especially around women, like women I'm attracted to, like my masculinity just naturally just the lover man just comes out like like you know what I'm saying? And it's just natural for me. Like
Yeah.
but when I'm with other men, other masculine men,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
There's a there's
boxy
a
and
there's a weird butchy uppy situation that happens with a bunch of masculine men for
yeah.
me, certainly.
That's why I'm starting to identify more of with um the Native American term two spirit because I do have Native American roots. And the
Yeah.
Queen could vouch for me, but but
I got
I'm
my
leaning
23
more
and me. I got my
towards
23 and me. I'm there. I'm there. I'm there. I got my 23 and me. I know for sure. For sure. For sure. I knew, but now I know. No.
okay, but as far as the femininity, it comes out depending on how comfortable I am. Like if I'm
Yeah.
watching ballroom with my girlfriend and everything is just it's mostly just AMAB people being assigned masculine at birth, people just being feminine and
Yeah.
comfortable in their body and some masculine and and then there's so much terminology being used. Like in that setting, it gets real like soft and like I get real softer and like if I'm conducting myself with my nieces, it's just more of a softer approach, like a
Mm.
more like that natural divine femininity comes out
Mm.
during those times, like when I'm with small kids and you know what I'm saying? It's just that nurturing. I don't know. I guess now I'm less resistant to when it wants to come out. You
Mm.
see what I'm saying? Like I'm like
Yes.
when it
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
yeah, like if I'm around an attractive masculine straight presenting quote unquote whatever that means man then that divine femininity comes out a little bit too, but it's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
like I'm
Yeah.
just like hey boy what's going on like it's not like that, it's never like that. That's not my personality, but it's just like I get a little more attentive,
Yeah.
like a little more
Yeah.
googly eyed.
I heard the tooth
Is
suck.
that
I heard
even
the tooth.
feminine? I don't
I
know.
don't know if it is, but I heard the tooth sucking. I'll tell you this: when I started doing this and I first started watching it back and like doing the editing and stuff, and I heard how I talk and I heard how many times I'm going, I was like, oh wow, you could just do a smash cut of just like, wow, girl, you do that a
That would
lot.
be
You do that a
hilarious.
lot. So
I would
yeah,
watch
no, I know
that
what you're
and laugh
saying.
really hard. That is definitely a good idea. But yeah, I'm just less resistant now. Like I'm
Yeah.
just like let yourself be. Like stop putting yourself in a box. It's not who you
Mm,
are. It's forced. You don't have to be this ultimate macho guy. That's not even you. Like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, now when I'm working out, I'm definitely that guy. Like, like if I'm working out or being competitive and it's a competitive sport, like I used to play basketball, like it's like I can get real
Listen,
extra and
listen. I
macho.
get so extra on the basketball court. Did you see the game last night? Which game did you watch last
Uh-uh.
night? You didn't see? Oh my
Nah.
God, the Lakers did some amazing shit on the Warriors. That game was excellent. That game was excellent. And I don't allow myself to watch basketball specifically because I do
Hmm.
get that way and it gets loud and I feel it happening inside and growing and I'm like, oh, you know, and like,
Yeah.
yeah, oh,
Hell
God
yeah.
damn it, give me a beer. And, you know what I mean?
Right.
Fuck this. What is this? Prosecco? Bullshit. You know, um,
Exactly.
yeah, and yeah, I grew up. My uncle used to play. I used to play with him, like, and all the rules, man. Like, man, you step on my sneaker, I'm gonna fuck you up. Like, this is not a game. We on the court, but don't.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. No, I
I
like.
feel that.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that though. I mean, it's the same kind of My godson gives me the same kind of reminders, and I forget. And my
Mhm.
therapist, who she is excellent, and she sees me. Uh,
Yeah. Do you feel like masculinity has been traumatizing and oppressive to you? Is that why do you
yeah,
feel like it's part of why you want to kind of back away from
that's
that?
exactly why.
Or
That's
is it
exactly why.
okay?
That's exactly
Yeah,
why,
I
man.
understand that. I
Yeah,
understand that. And I think that's why I'm so it took me a while to actually take on the identity of bisexual.
mm,
Like you couldn't like I always spin it in some weird way. I don't know. Like it's like um yeah, I'm attracted to women, but men are just, I've dealt with them before. I dealt with them
I
before,
dealt with them
and
before. I dealt with
in
them
my
before.
relationship, in my relationship in middle school, I was with them. That's pretty much it. Like, hush. So like now I'm
Yeah.
just like, yeah, like that's stupid. like it comes to a point where like this is dumb. This is
Yeah.
whack. Because in my mind, I'm thinking that will make me seem more masculine or make people respect me as a man more. Because I know that they don't respect men that question their sexuality.
Mm.
Then it's when it comes to sexuality and gender expression, men get it really tough,
It is
and they do
restrictive,
it to each other.
and it's reinforced, and it's still so homoerotic when they're doing it. It's
Right?
so
They
wild.
slap each other butt. They slap each other butt during sports,
A
and
homeboy took me to
it's a
go
lot
to
of
a bar
stuff.
to go watch a UFC fight or an MMA fight. And he was like, no, 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 this is cool. It's like boxing. I was like, I don't know. It don't seem like boxing to me. And I like boxing. He was like, no, it's like boxing. I was like, okay. And I went with him. And so then they're up there and they're hurting each other. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't even like America's Funniest Home Videos for exactly that reason. Like these motherfuckers are hurting each other. I'm not here for this. And then at one point, half the dudes in the bar jump up and they start screaming, full mount, full mount. And I'm just like, this is the gayest shit I've ever been at in my life. And I've been at some gay shit. This is crazy.
Hot and sweaty men in one situation, like it's a lot going on here.
Screaming full mount. And but with
With a
that
lot of
weird
contacts.
aggression, I was like, what? Just you could be
Seems
like it
like
could be gentle, like, hey, come here. You want a full hug? Full hug. Full hug. Ugh.
it seems like they're taking out something on each other. It's kind of aggressive. It's a lot going on.
It's a
The
lot
energy is
going on.
very, very hot and steamy.
And I didn't object to it. I was not against it. I grew up, like I said, I
Right.
grew up in the theater. I like looking at male bodies. I like dance. I like ballet. This is great for that part. But why y'all not
Yeah.
admitting that that's what you're doing? Just say that's what
Right.
you're doing. It's
I think
okay.
it's just, I feel like men need to, until men take accountability and
Mm,
are okay with shit like men are trash.
mm.
You know what I'm saying? And understanding the reasoning behind it. And we know not every man, but the culture of men
I know
is what's
what
trash.
I know what body I'm born into. I know what my sexuality is. I'm not like
Right.
running from shit. I
Right.
also,
It's
those
kind of like the
things give
same
me
thing.
access and to be trash if I so choose, and it's problematic.
Right. It's kind of the same way I see when people make fun of light skinned people.
Mm.
It's funny to me because I know that light skinned people do a lot of and say a lot of dumb shit. Like, and it's funny to me when people make fun of light skinned people because the shit is true. I would know because I've had stupid thoughts before, and because I'm not perfect, your privilege
Yeah,
prohibits you from seeing things in a 360 way
yeah,
a lot of times. And so, like, now I'm like, I perfectly get it because I've heard other light skinned people say shit like this, or just in general, like, and I get it. Like, even though I'm a man, I know that men do trash shit, especially culturally. Like, it's just the facts, but people,
yeah.
people take it a different way. People try to people. It feels like an attack when you have to really think about your privileges.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like them moments when you are working through that shit definitely feels like you're a trash ass person. Like like
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
trash.
yeah, yeah.
You don't know shit. And yeah, the
No, it
world
took me a
hates you.
moment to. It
Like
took me a minute to work through that. And it's still
yeah,
sometimes saying, like, I'll
yeah.
hear one of my friends be talking about, "Ain't no man worth shit anywhere in the world," and I'm like, okay, I know that I graduated, but at the same time, it's just that's a little, and but only inside, and it's the old shit working itself out. It's the old shit working itself
Right,
out. So
right,
yeah,
right.
no, that fluidity
Definitely, because
piece
you
matters. That matters deeply. Go ahead.
right, because if you don't grow up affirmed, it's like you basically, especially if you don't grow up affirmed,
Yeah,
you especially have to do a lot of recreating of your mind. Like it's so much work, and sometimes like you gotta allow yourself to feel the feelings of frustration, like you know what I'm
yeah.
saying, and just let you heal from it. But at the same time, it get frustrating. Like it's like, bro, like, am I really like this alone in my experience in life? And then it's
Mm.
kind of like, no, because
No,
people like you have existed since the beginning of
since forever, and when they
mankind.
tell us we didn't, like what?
Right?
What are you talking about? People have
Are
been
you
resisting and fucking each other and being who they are since there've been people. What are you
so?
talking about?
So you mean to tell me that the shit that's in the water, the shit that's in the water, in the food, in Democrats made me this way?
Right?
Oh, tell me something I don't know about myself. This sounds fun. Like, yeah, that's basically what it like. You have to constantly resist yourself from internalizing all that crazy shit people say about you
Yeah.
when at the end of the day you know who you are. At the end of the day you know your experiences. Who knows you more than yourself? Like at the end of the day you got to bring yourself back to that when you're recreating your mind
Mm,
of just living in your truth. Like your truth is your truth, like even if
mm.
the world says the complete opposite. And then like it's crazy
Love
to
that.
see it is crazy to see people uncomfortable with that when they know that that should been existing too. And I feel like
Yes.
they forget that. Like they forget that, but they just don't want to see like you have rights either. They just
Yeah.
like I don't want to feel like I have to walk on thin ice all the time, and I don't feel like I should have to say somebody's pronouns I don't agree with, or I don't feel like I want to be homophobic. Like that shit is stupid because the Bible says the Bible or this says this, or I was raised this way. Like it's crazy,
Yeah.
but
And the Bible ain't
I
say
don't.
that. And the Bible ain't say that. P.S.
Right. The
I've read the
Bible didn't
Bible.
say hate transsexuals. Like,
I know what it meant to swear on one's family in the Bible. That meant you was grabbing the niggas nuts. So I don't know what Bible y'all is reading, but that's literally what that meant. So okay,
right.
yeah, it's amazing.
Man,
It's amazing. Jesus' best friend was a whore, but he didn't. Really? Okay. Mm.
bro. I can't take people serious when they rather attack queer people and queer situations that are happening and talk about like the Bible and stuff, but at the same time don't even acknowledge like don't even take this big huge stance on the fact that there's like white Jesus everywhere.
Yo,
Like
do you have access to HBO Plus right now?
no, yeah, no, wait, just HBO Max.
Okay, it's gonna be on some HBO, I think. There's a documentary worth checking out, The Family. It talks about how these motherfuckers figured out how to do this and talk about Jesus all the time. They literally separated Jesus from the Bible and from the biblical teachings and all the scriptures, and they frame it as Jesus like a superhero, and then you're justified to do whatever you want to do. And they use King David in some real fucked up way, where they talk about David and Goliath, but they don't talk about David and Goliath. They talk about King David when he slept with his soldier's wife, and then it was okay because he was still king. And so it's okay to just do whatever you want to do. It's called The Family. Check that shit out.
Interesting.
It is wild.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I'm
and
gonna check it out.
as soon as you hear it, it's like, oh well, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, that's what y'all doing. Okay, motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's crazy. But
It's wild.
I also looked at it, and I'm also like, the world kind of reject, because I was looking at how people depict Jesus
Mm.
in each different parts of the world, and most of them depict him how either white or how they feel like he should look.
Yeah.
So I also was just like, okay, so everybody don't want a black Jesus basically, except for black folks. So it's kind of just like it is what it is.
Yeah.
You just don't worry about it. Like these people are just ignorant. Of course, they're not going to understand your transsexuality
Nope.
because they don't live the experience, or they don't care to learn about it because they feel like they don't have to. So it is what it is. I don't know how we got from Jesus to that, but
Listen,
yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised to find out. I wouldn't be surprised to find out that we just getting the message that the Lord just let us know. Like y'all know I'm trans, right? Um,
Yeah,
could be. Hey,
yeah.
before we get out of here, I did mention at the top the Baddie Brigade, and I did not say and should have said my condolences to the entire crew.
Right.
Um,
Condolences to Nikita's family. I'm gonna take a sip for that. So yeah, shout out to the fam. You know what I'm
right.
saying? I didn't know y'all all. I didn't know that you knew. Wait, do you know Queen and Jay personally?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I've been
Yeah, that's crazy.
yeah, it was wild. And when I found out, yeah, and when I found out how close we were in the proximity, that shit just blew my mind. I was like,
Yeah,
what? No, that don't make no sense.
like right in the middle of
Right here, right
knowing people
here,
from different
coasts.
different parts of the world. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, but
yeah. Now, Janice and I
now we
met
got
on
to.
Twitter like, God, 9 years ago, I think. About 9 years ago, we were introduced by somebody else through the Twitterverse who was memeing for Denzel Washington podcast, memed the picture
Mhm.
that both of us were in and were tagged in, and then we started talking to each other. And I was listening to the podcast, and then I started following Naima, and yeah, Janicia came on the show, and that was the only reason in the world that I ever thought to ask Naima, cause I know the rules. I was like, I want them both on here, but Naima ain't gonna come on this shit. I'm like, ooh, she gonna not do this. So it
Yeah,
was
I
dope.
love
It
her,
was dope.
dude.
It was dope. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, both of them like easily two of the coolest people in the world.
Yeah,
Easily, naturally,
by far.
they're cool. Like everything they do. They was the first. I always remember this. They was the first people I've ever went to a function to
Mm,
where they made it known like no transphobia
mm,
and no homophobia,
mm.
no queerphobia, no fatphobia, none of that in this space. And it was still like super packed, still with cishet men in there, from what I assume. Because you never know. Looks are deceiving. But
Looks are deceiving, but you can
in
see
like,
behaviors. You can see behavior. You can see how they be looking at people when they
yeah,
come in the room. You know.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So like not all walks of life, but just black people in there. Of course, it was a
Yeah.
random white person that came in there and started dancing,
Yeah.
and then they kind of like kindly like uninvited her. Not Queen, see Queen, not Queen and Jay, but somebody in the
But from the
somebody
event,
in the
I heard it.
function
Yeah,
did.
they
I
talked
thought
about that. They talked about that on the show. I heard
that
about that
was
function.
pretty hilarious because I definitely got her on Snapchat dancing, and I put no one
Wow.
invited her, and it just made it hilarious because everybody was looking at her like, "What's happening?" That shit was hilarious. But yeah, those was the first people I ever seen have a function where they made it known that they're inclusive and they set the tone of the space and like
Yes.
actually welcome trans folks. And
Yeah.
I felt like I wouldn't deal with no issues. Like I was just like, yeah, like
Mm.
cool. I don't know, it just made me feel safer. Like, and of course black women are usually ahead of the game.
Always. Always. Always.
Right. Always ahead of the game.
Yeah.
So, respect to black women.
Yeah.
Straight
Big
up,
up.
because that's what it is.
Yeah, for real. Oh, that is so wild. That's so wild. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's nuts. Well, listen,
Hmm.
we've been talking an hour. I'm pretty blazed.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's being real.
yeah, for real. Hey, where can the people find you? Where should they be looking for you?
You can find me on Instagram. I'm not gonna say it like Carlos, but Zahir Raye. Zahirraye. You know what I'm saying? That's my Instagram. And from there, I have a link tree on everything that I have. So all the links I have to all my shit. So
All right.
yeah,
Y'all heard it here. You heard the conversation. You know it's worth it. Go check it out. Zahir, thank you so much for spending some time beneath the philosopher's tree. I hope we could do this again.
thank you for having me. Just let me
Yeah.
know.
Oh hell yeah,
I'm
hell
down
yeah.
here in the
This is
south.
fun.
Before we go though,
Yeah,
there's
what's up? What's
actually a
good?
song since we're adding the southern link
Yes,
to the
yes,
triangle. You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying? There's actually two of my favorite artists that made a song. One of them from the West Coast and one of them from the South.
Okay.
Called "Smoke and Mirrors." Smoke and Mirrors, and it's by Larry June. I don't know if you
Oh
heard
shit,
Larry June.
I'm not up, but I'm getting up. I'm writing this down right now.
Larry June and Currency. Of course, it just go like "Smoke and Mirrors." I thought you would want to hear it.
I
So
would
yeah, I just
love to
had to
hear
put
it.
that out there.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm gonna look for that. I'm gonna look for that for
All
real.
right.
Appreciate you.
It's been
Hey,
real.
everyone,
What's
please,
up?
all the
Oh,
folks, give it up for our folks out here.
all right.
All right. Hey, y'all know what it is. Uh, brilliant conversations, brilliant guests, mind expanding and mind blowing times beneath the philosopher's tree. Big up one more time to Marsha's plate, to Zahir, to everybody in the Baddie Brigade, and we did talk before about my pronunciation of his name, and that has to do with the fact that my mother was a pedant who would not let me say my name incorrectly, and therefore any ethnic name is gonna get some flair from me. That's just thanks, mom. How that goes. All right, we're gonna see y'all next time. Okay, here come the credits. Hey, this has been another Smoke and Mirrors. Thank you so much for spending some time here beneath the philosopher's tree. You know where you can find us. First of all, go to the IG. You'll see pictures of us being still and talking with people. God, what's a more entertaining picture than that? Well, that's available at IG. It's Smoke and Mirrors CCB. One more time, and that's for comedy, that's for culture, and that is for blackness. Twitter, well, that's where you can hear the words without having to hear the voice, because you'll play them in your own damn head. Twitter at Caballo Negrito for the monolingual amongst us. Caballo Negrito translates literally to light-skinned people are funny. Caballo Negrito translates literally to light-skinned people are funny. If you have a question, a comment, a suggestion about a guest who we should have here on the program and underneath the philosopher's tree, please do reach out to us. Smoke and Mirrors CCB at gmail.com. One more time, that's Smoke and Mirrors CCB at gmail.com. Wire the CC and be there. That's for comedy. That's for culture. That's for Blackness. This is a thing that is hosted and produced by myself, Godless Kareem, and this is also produced by the producer with the most in the chair, the person in the chair, giving you all the information in the chats. Tracy Tatamy, come on now. Also bringing you the most exclusive guests. That's what she does. She's the shit. So you should just know it. All right. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Please go get a vax. Do not listen to these assholes. If you're not going to get a vax, please wear a mask when you get home. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. You only have one life. We do hope to see you here next time. Why? Because we love you. See you on Tuesday. Bye-bye.